Welcome to another episode of Ringside with George. I'm your host, George, and boy, do we have lots to discuss. Man, it's uh it's been a crazy ride the last 3 weeks or so since the beginning of March, or rather April. Well, I guess March 14th ish. So man, we're getting close to a month of coronavirus affecting everything, man. It is crazy. Uh, Restaurants are closed. All the bars are closed. Just anything where there's people that gather uh, are closed. And I know that I've said I'm trying to make this a record for my daughter when I'm not around. So I'm gonna try to be as descriptive as possible when I'm describing some of this stuff. So if I take a little longer, bear with me. Because to be honest, man, I don't really know what to say. I just felt though like I needed to do something. I mean, I've been being creative. I've been doing things around the house, and I'm still working. Thank the universe. I'm still. Grocery stores are going to be one of the last things to close. Obviously, Teresa's still working. She's got GMP, they're medical, so she's going to be working for a while too. So we're very lucky, but man, there's plenty of people that are working. They bartenders, servers. It's just everything is closed down. I've never experienced anything like this ever in 44 years on this planet. Uh, a little coffee drink. Uh, so I don't really know. I'm not really following the science behind it. A little bit. Uh, it's just so hard to know what you can rely on nowadays. Like what's honest shit, man. What's honest? A few things. We have the WHO, the World Health Organization. When this first came out, were telling us not to trip on wearing masks, and all the politicians were telling us, "Oh, we're gonna have this wrapped up," but the scientists, man, all of them are like, no, dude, you need to take this serious. And it feels so, I don't want to say unnatural or unreal, but I'm getting, I don't hate to say this, that's a dumb thing to say, but it's interesting to say this, that I'm getting most of my information from Joe Rogan's podcast. Uh, I've said it before that anything going on, usually within a day or two, he'll have the either that person or the main person in that situation or on his podcast. So he's been having a lot of scientists on this podcast. He had Lex Friedman on there the other day, and it's just they're saying wear the mask, which makes sense. It's a airborne uh, not cardiovascular, but it affects the lungs, pulmonary disease, and so it makes sense to wear the mask. It's just, it's so weird to go around hiding your face. We're so bent on expression and how people say things and what, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. We really convey a lot with our face, and not being able to see that kind of makes it, a little impersonal. It makes you feel like, oh, what the fuck? You got your mask on? You think I got cooties or what? But this is the time to think that. This is the time to not worry about other people's opinions and do what is best for the group. Like, we're a group right now. It's not Laker fans versus fucking Golden State. It's not, Republican versus Democrat. It's not US versus Russia, it's people, dude. Like it's people. This thing is killing people. And I don't really see too many people where I'm in Orange County, California, and I work in Santa Ana, and there's plenty of people not wearing masks, not wearing gloves, not really taking this serious. And that's kind of how it is too, as humans. We don't really think about things until it's happening to us. I've said this a lot, maybe not on the podcast or anything, but I'm always surprised that when celebrities just out of the blue start totally backing up a certain charity or a certain thing, and then you find out, oh, his mom just died of cancer, or her dad has, Alzheimer's or whatever, and that's just kind of how we are. We don't really think about things wholeheartedly unless it's happening to us. And then we're all about it. Then we're gung ho. We'll fucking get this. But until then, it's like, whatever. I'm healthy. So I think this is going to be. Man, I think this is going to change society. I think there's so many things that people aren't talking about that are going to be enacted and being not in effect, but just come to fruition even once this virus if is under control. So you got to think you got bars, restaurants, excuse me. You have what else? Like the malls are closed, the casinos are closed. Just everything. Everything is closed. There's dry cleaners are closed, barbershops are closed. Just all the little things that you need. Not necessarily that you need. You don't need them, but all the little things in between the things that you need. Like in the shopping center I work in, our grocery stores are open and some of the food establishments, but like the hair salons closed, the dry cleaners are closed. There's a couple of restaurants that are closed, fast food restaurants. I'm pretty sure the Thai massage place is still open. But like all the gyms are closed. I haven't been to the gym since this all started. I really want to shout out to Brian, an American Gym. I know a lot of the trainers are doing what they can, and if you can get to your trainer or go, train at a park or their house or your house, that's what you should do, because that's their income. Like all these people, this is their income, and so many people live check to check that this is going to bury people. One full month, like not too many people have savings. We got some income tax money right before this happened and have been able to be pretty good, because we're both working, and we don't really have crazy habits. I don't smoke cigarettes or drink beer or anything. I know a lot of people spend a lot of money on that. I know a lot of people have been drinking a lot. A lot of people buying alcohol at the store, man. But it's going to affect so many people financially. And when you don't have money, you can't pay your bills, you don't know how you can buy food, that does something to your psyche, where you go from being this super cool bartender. I just can't help but think of the bartenders at the places I do stand up, like Chapter One, Matt, and how they're like, studs. They're studs. Every night they get girls flirting with them, they get guys being cool. And you're always cool to your bartender because you want them to hook up your drink. So they're gonna go from a great self-esteem, a job that builds their self-esteem, and you can have your opinion on whether it's building their self-esteem the right way or the wrong way or whatever, superficial, whatever. But they have confidence, and it shows in their sense of humor, it shows in their demeanor, everything. And the thing is when you take that away, are people strong enough to still believe in themselves? Are people strong enough to overcome not having certain things that made them desirable to other people? Look, we're a superficial fucking group. We're superficial to no end, man. Uh, and it's so hard to picture. Like, I'm trying to put myself in, if I didn't have a job, what would I do? What would I do? Uh, we paid rent and uh, some pretty big bills with that income tax, but it still wouldn't be enough to sustain me. Like, they're talking about this lasting for 6 months to a year of establishments being closed. And I know small businesses and restaurants already have uh, the odds against them as far as surviving. Like, this is going to topple so many small businesses are going to go under. I, I'm assuming a lot of people are going to move back at home. People are going to lose their apartments. People are going to lose their cars. No one's going to be able to make their car payments. Uh, you know, if you hear Tyson over there, that's him scratching. Not Tyson. We got a boxer. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of people, the streets are empty. Now listen, as much as this is an inconvenience, somebody like me who, I hate traffic. I love driving. I can sit in the car for hours, but I hate traffic. And I'm getting to work in like 15 minutes, man. I'm loving it. But it's a weird thing at the store. I see everybody coming in, and it's weird. I've been seeing people who used to come in just on their own, not, you know, just buying food for themselves. Now a lot of people are doing Instacart. A lot of people that, this lady came in yesterday, I believe. I think it was, yeah, yesterday, and she is like has a wedding business. Like, you're not going to a wedding. You're not going to funerals. What if someone dies? Dude, they're not doing high school graduations. That's in June. They're closed schools down, all the colleges, like everything. Uh, this so this is crazy. And so, just so people in the future, Rogue, if you're listening to this, the way that this is going down is, so the virus is affecting most people with pre-existing conditions. So if you've already got a weak immune system, you've already got like a lung disease, or you already have something that this is just going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. It's affecting you. And it's usually affecting people in the older community. So we're going to say 50 and older, 60 and older. Uh, it seems to be that if you are relatively healthy and you take care of yourself, it's not really affecting you. But there's been a few people I've seen that on the news and Joe Rogan and stuff, and that are healthy. Like, they had that, I believe it was either African or Jamaican Olympic swimmer. He got it, but he also had, I thought they said he had uh, the flu also before that or something. He had something else, uh, a combination of two things. But there's a few people that have gotten it that are healthy that it's affecting really, really bad. For the most part, like, we just reached 10,000 coronavirus deaths uh, last week in America. And California and New York, I believe, are the leading states. I think we had some 1,300 or something people die, which, man, it's just so crazy to think as advanced as we are, and as, we got caught slipping. We got caught slipping. They didn't stockpile it. Matter of fact, they sold a lot of the masks to, or sent them to China when they first had an outbreak, because we're so deep in their pockets, or they're so deep in ours, rather. It's just a interesting time right now, man. It's so trippy. And it kind of knocks down the American ego a little bit. Like, we're not as invincible as we thought. We're not, uh, we're not our celebrities. So many of the, like, when you meet people from other countries, they're like, oh, hey, LeBron James, or hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, so many people from other countries, they associate Americans with the celebrities that they see. And, we have this image of, we're just the fucking baddest motherfuckers. We stick our nose. I mean, goddamn, we got Trump as a president. If that doesn't show ego, if that doesn't show you live in an arrogant country, that your representative is successful business mogul, but a reality show host and just all around shady dude, man. He's just a fucking shady guy. And if that doesn't say we're fucking arrogant, we just think so much of ourselves, I don't know what does. I do not know what does, man. Because even he was saying, oh no, it's under control. We're gonna open it by Easter. Well, Easter's Sunday, motherfucker, and it still ain't gonna be even close to open. The crazy thing is, he was tweeting about how his tweets about the coronavirus are getting more views than The Bachelor season finale. He tweeted that. He was bragging about his tweets about a pandemic virus killing his countrymen, his constituents. You know what I mean? He's our representative, and he's bragging that his tweet about that situation is getting more likes than the season finale of The Bachelor. What the fuck is going on? What fucking planet do we live in, man? This is so bonkers. It's so weird. It really feels like an alternate universe, man, where just the weirdest shit is happening. I haven't seen, I saw my brother the other day, but I haven't seen like any family. Everyone's, we did a group video chat with Teresa's family the other day, Blake and everybody out in Oklahoma, and then, her mom, Andrew, and new dude, Jaime. Her fucking mom's getting married. I don't know how old Betty is, but, she's not young. But she met this dude, I don't know how long ago, maybe 2 months ago, like right before all this shit happened, and they were already planning on getting married. Maybe Jaime brought the coronavirus. Oh, man. This sucks because no sporting events, I mean, it just rocked everyone to the foundation of like what we are, like little businesses are kind of our backbone. They provide income and means of living to a lot of people. A lot of people, man, are servers, especially like in Newport, Costa Mesa, where there's a ton of bars and a ton of restaurants. That's a huge part of their economy down there. A lot of people that spend money in the community there, live in that community, work at those places, and now they're not going. Newport's already fucking expensive as fuck as it is. So throw in this situation, there's going to be a lot of for rent signs in the next coming months. I bet I would guarantee it, man. Because unless the government steps up and starts helping people, they people are going to drown. People are going to go under because it's just too much. The world doesn't stop. The world's not stopping. Your landlord's not not expecting his fucking rent. You know, they're not like, oh, coronavirus, oh, here, live free. You know, that's not going to happen. I mean, in a great situation where people loved each other and, you know, looked out for their fellow man, yeah, that would happen. But we are an arrogant, superficial uh, country. And it's my opinion that we're going to find out that the system we set up for ourselves wasn't meant for this many people. I think that I mean, there's a lot of people saying how this happens every few 100,000 years or something. You know, a big thing happens. Yeah, it said 1917, the influenza, or I forget which one, but, or, you know, right before World War II, you know, these illnesses. But there's a lot of people saying that, you know, uh, civilization's been erased before. Now, I don't think that's quite what's going to happen here, but 10,000 people have already died. Uh, when I was talking about bartenders and, you know, people having jobs and that affecting their confidence and, you know, having money and being a productive member of society, not draining, you know, even, I don't give a fuck if you're a busboy at a restaurant, you're paying taxes, you're going to work, you're living up to your responsibility. I don't care how fucking menial the job sounds or how much you hate the job, it's still a part of the machine. It's still a nut on the bolt of the engine that fucking thrives us, that makes community and makes civilization happen. Whoa, that was my stomach. Uh, so when you take those things away from people, when you take away income, when you take away a means to survive, it doesn't only affect them, you know, financially and like living conditions, but it affects people psychologically. I would not doubt that we're going to see a huge rise in depression. We're going to see suicides. I think we're going to see more fighting. I think we're going to see, uh, you know, just bad attitudes because people are in bad situations. And it's going to come down to the haves and the have nots if we don't share with each other. If we don't look out for each other, the have nots are going to take from the haves. It's just the way it's always been. It's just, you know, I mean, dude, it wasn't that long ago, the LA riots, because of fucking uh, Reginald Denny and fucking King. What the fuck was his name? King, Rodney King, Rodney King. You know, and that was the have nots trying to take from the haves because of a imbalance in the justice system. Now, that was just people being mad about fucking white cops getting off for beating up a black dude, which they shouldn't have. Those dudes were fucking, dude, they beat the shit out of that dude. He wasn't swinging on them or nothing. It was, none of them were fucking defensive blows. It was all offensive. And, I mean, I understand it. I get it. This, however, is something that nobody can control, that nobody expected, and that nobody knows how to really knows how to deal with. There's some theories and there's some ideas, but no one's really got like, oh, well, let's do this, you know. So when you take people and put them in situations where it's, oh my God, I'm going to starve. How am I going to feed my kids? Morality goes out the window. When it comes down to either you're not going to like me or be upset with me because I'm taking your fucking groceries, or my kid doesn't eat, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I don't fucking care how you feel, as long as my kid's fed, as long as my family's provided for, And I don't think we're around the corner from that. But if this goes on for 6 months, 7, 8 months, a year of people losing their fucking apartments, losing their cars, losing their things, losing fucking self-esteem, confidence, belief in yourself, uh, you know, not having things affects you psychologically when you live in a country who says you got to have this, you got to have that, he with the most toys uh wins, or he who dies with the most toys wins. I think that was like a t-shirt or something when I was a kid. But that's our mentality. If you want to have as much shit as you can. Now I know that there's a few people, that don't live or adhere by that, but that's the society that we live in. That's the cool kids thoughts, is that the more shit you have, the more cool things you have, the cooler you are. So when you don't have anything and you're no longer seen as cool, then you start resenting people that have things. Then you start resenting the cool people, because when you don't have any money, it's hard to get money. When you have a little bit of money, it's easier to make money. When you have a little breathing room, it's easier to focus on what you need to do. When you don't have any breathing room, when you're just trying to fucking scramble to make one fucking meal, to pay 1 month's rent, and then fucking worry about next month, scramble again next month, and you're literally barely making it. It does something to your heart. For lack of a fucking better word, it does something to your heart and your soul when you feel ashamed because you don't have what the next guy has, or you're ashamed that you need to ask for help, or you're ashamed that, or embarrassed that, I didn't have any savings. I didn't plan for anything like this, and it wasn't like there was much of a warning. These people just had to like quit their jobs and that was it. I mean, imagine going into work and them saying, no, we're closed indefinitely. You now have to find another job. A lot of people are I'm seeing a lot more Instacart, and man, it's sad seeing people who want to work, can work, not being able to work, having to fucking go pick up food for other people, too fucking lazy to get it themselves. Like, I mean, I'm glad there's an opportunity for people to make a little money to, but Jesus Christ, man, is that the best we can do for each other? Go get my fucking food? Like, fuck, man. I wish I was in a better position to help people to do something. Like, I don't even know what I would do, because we've never seen anything like this. I don't know what the remedy is, because, dude, I'm stoked I have a job. I'm glad that it really hasn't. I took a few days off, but other than that, this really hasn't affected me. Our hours have changed a little bit, but I mean, I'm still going to work. Teresa's still going to work. So I'm fortunate in that aspect. And I feel guilty sometimes, man, when I talk to people, customers at work. I feel guilty that I have a job. I'm fine. And I really don't want to go in sometimes. You know what I mean? I, like today's my day off. I'm fucking stoked. We're closed on Sunday. I'm stoked. I thought about not going in on Thursday or Friday and Saturday, just taking 4 days. But I just, like I said, I just took some days off, but I was just, man, seeing those two business owners coming in and doing Instacart just really put things in perspective for me. You know, it hasn't even been a month. The 14th of this month will be a month that all of this started. I believe the whole kind of thing, like, hey, stay indoors, started on the 14th of March, which my birthday is the 14th of this month. Ashley's is the 19th of this month. And, you know, God, it's so weird. You know, thank goodness it's not really affecting kids, children. You know, it's more affecting the adults, the senior citizens, actually. Uh, you know, because Ashley and I both have young kids. Trying to keep Rogue as home as much as possible. You know, that was why I took all those days off. But this is just a trip, man. It's just it's interesting, man. I bet if you're a sociology uh, student or professor, or like the evolution of biology or humans or whatever, you know, psychology, I bet this is interesting as fuck because nobody knows what the hell is going on and nobody was ready for this and nobody uh, is really sure of what to do. And that is a uncomfortable feeling. You know, I see it a lot at work too. Like a lot of people that I work with aren't wearing their mask. I've been wearing a handkerchief over my face because they gave us a mask at work. But man, I work with everything I work with is either defrosting or bloody or wet or something. And so when I move my mask or have to put it back in place, it's gonna get shit on it, you know. No, not shit, but you know, liquid or something else. So you know, I didn't want to be breathing that gunk in, or you know, salmonella or some shit, chicken juice or whatever. So I got the handkerchief. But there's a lot of guys at work that aren't, didn't even get their mask, and it just kind of reinforces my point that you don't really give a fuck until it's happening to you. Like until someone that close to you, you know, gets it, you're not really, you don't feel like it's really in your world. You know, all these people that are getting it and all these cases that I'm seeing on the TV, they just feel so distant. You know, it doesn't feel like it's in my circle yet. You know, my sphere. So I don't know. I just felt like getting it out. I got a new camera. You know, not a new camera, but we got a laptop, and I wanted to make a video along with this, trying to edit that, and hopefully do some podcasts, man. I would love to do Skype podcasts. I'm not that computer savvy yet. Uh, so if you have any pointers, you know how to do it, let me know. I would love to learn. I'm probably gonna watch some YouTube videos later on how to do it. But yeah, man. You know what? I did want to say one thing. I mean, I wanted to say a few things. Once I sat down, I didn't really know what I was gonna say, but I do want to say this. You know, it's no secret I've been to prison, and I can't help but feel like this has kind of a prison vibe to it. Now, by that I mean us being told to stay indoors and stay away from each other and all of that kind of has a little weird vibe, prison vibe to it. Now, what I'm gonna say is, if you're indoors, if you're home, and if you're can't go somewhere, in you know your job is secure, or you know you have something set up, or you don't have to constantly look for work, uh, dude, be better than when this started. If you're home and you've been wanting to learn guitar or read this book or fucking do yoga or dude, just don't sit on the couch and do Netflix. Because if you get off of this quarantine and you go back to work and all you did was watch TV and eat, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you walk away from this better than when you started. Learn anything, do anything. Just don't sit there and be stagnant, because then you're not just losing time, you're losing life. You're dying if all you're going to do is sit there. Write something, man. Write some poems, write some songs, write a letter. Dude, you know how cool it would be to get a letter from somebody right now? Write someone a handwritten letter. Uh, draw something, paint something, build something. Just try to better yourself when you're home. Because I'm going to tell you from experience, you will feel better about the time that you lost if you walk away with something from this. You don't want to just get by. You don't want to just survive something like this. You want to say, yeah, I got through it. Yeah, I also learned fucking guitar. I also learned how to fucking do sign language, whatever the fuck, you know. So that's my advice, man. To sell living, like, just make sure you're doing what you need to do. Get up, start working out if that's what you don't do and you've always told yourself you wanted to do. Paint something if you told yourself you always wanted to do something, artistic. Just remember, we are not our thoughts. We are our actions. You can think about that script you've been wanting to write for as long as you want, but until you write it, you'll never be a screenwriter. You'll never be what you really, really want to be. I know if your thing is stand-up comedy, you can't do comedy anymore, but you can keep writing and you can text friends and you can videotape yourself. I'm still writing jokes and still, trying to come up with music and be creative. And, I've been doing stuff around the house. I hung the TV up, made Rogue a jungle gym bed, which is fucking dope. It's got a rock climbing wall, chalkboard wall, ropes. So just try to be better. Don't let this virus and this situation just take everything away from you. Gain something, man. Be something a little more. And I promise you, it'll help your confidence. It'll help remind you that you're not your situation. You are not your situation. You are not what this is happening to you. I forget who said this, but there's a saying that the situation does not make the man, but how the man deals with the situation is what makes him, or something like that. It's not your situation, it's how you deal with the situation. So dig deep, man. This is the time. This is the situation and the call to arms. This is when you need to get the fuck up and tell yourself what the fuck you need to do and fucking do it. Everything. Even if it's the fucking dishes, get up and fucking do the dishes. If you're not working and you're home, do not become stagnant. It is so hard to become unstagnant once you get there. A lot of people ask me, man, how do you work out so much? Why? Because once you get started, you can't stop. Once you do it for a period of time, it bugs you when you don't do it. So get up, better yourself. And you should be working out anyway. This is a fucking respiratory disease. Work on your fucking cardio. Be healthy. Work on yourself from the inside out. Eat right. be safe. Look on each other too, man. If you're going somewhere and you know somebody can't leave or can't get something, or check in on them, man. Check in on your neighbors. See if everybody's cool. See if they need anything. Maybe they'll ask you the next time they go out. Maybe it'll get passed on and passed on and passed on. And I'm gonna try to do more of these podcasts. I'm gonna try to, I just did a lot of things around the house during those few days, and to be honest, it's kind of a sad time, and I always wanted this to be a little more upbeat, but if I'm documenting my time here for my daughter, then it needs to have the good and the bad. And this is definitely one of the bad times. So let's help each other out, man. Look out for each other. All right. And I love you, Rogue. Night, sweetie. And be safe, be smart, be you. Male version. Why chicks great till they gotta be great? I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that dude. Even when I'm mad and angry, yeah, I got girl problems, it's a boy in me. Bling bling, then I saw it, listen me. You could've had a bad motherfucker, non-committal. Helping me with the core red, just a little. Supposed to hold me down, but you're holding me back, and that's the sound. Me not calling you back. Why chicks great till they gotta be great? Don't text me, tell straight to my face. Best friends send me down at the bar show. Drinks and shots help me forget about you. Fresh kicks with a dope ass haircut. Now I'm all about the girls with the big butt. Truth hurts, need something more exciting. Mama, that'll break my heart. Oh, it breaks my heart that you thought you ever had it. Oh, you ain't from the start. Well, I'm glad you're back with your two. Won't wanna hide this. I will never, ever, 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 ever be your side chick. I put the sting, getting single. Worry about a ring, on my finger. You can tell your man, shoot that shot when you see him. Cause we both know you're still in my DM. Why chicks great till they gotta be great? Don't text me, tell it straight to my face. Best friends send me down to the bar stool. Drinks and shots help me forget about you. Best friends with the blue ass haircut. Now I'm all about the girls with the big butt. Truth hurts, need something more exciting. Bum bum baby, bum bum baby, yeah. Bro. Do.